Stop. If your morning is chaotic, your life is not yours. Marcus Aurelius would say you didn't have a bad morning, you surrendered the throne. Think about it, the first thing you touch is your phone. The first voice you hear is someone else's urgency. The first emotion you feel is pressure. And before you've even stood up, you're already reacting to messages, to news, to expectations, to the noise of the world. That's not a morning, that's a remote control. Because whoever controls your first hour writes your entire day. And if you start the day obeying impulses, scrolling, rushing, apologizing, chasing, then you've trained your mind to be owned. Rome was chaos too. Marcus woke up to war politics, betrayal, sickness, yet he wrote one stubborn reminder: your peace depends on what you allow into your mind first. So here's the question that changes everything. When you wake up, do you take command or do you report for duty to your addictions and everyone else's agenda? In the next minutes, I'll show you the stoic way to take the morning back and take your life with it. Act 1. The scene. Rome before dawn. Before sunrise, Rome was never quiet. Rain on stone, boots on marble, a messenger at the door breathless because the empire moved like a beast that never slept. And in the middle of it stood Marcus Aurelius. Not a hero in a movie, a tired man with too much responsibility and too little comfort. He could have blamed the world for his stress. He could have called it unfair. He could have collapsed into complaint. Instead, he did something terrifyingly simple. He took his mind back. Picture it, candlelight trembling on a desk, ink drying on parchment. Marcus writing in his private journal, not for applause, not for followers, not for the internet. Just reminders, instructions, a manual for staying human inside chaos. Here's the part most people miss: Marcus didn't wake up to peace. He woke up to pressure, yet he trained himself to meet the day like a commander, not a victim. Reset with me, one breath in and out. Say it with me. The day does not own me. Marcus warned himself about mornings. In meditations, he reminds his future self that when you rise, you will meet the busybody, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful. Not because life is cursed, because life is life. And the trap isn't the world outside. The trap is the moment you obey the first impulse inside. Because your day doesn't begin when you leave your home. It begins the moment you surrender control of your attention. The first impulse might be comfort, or panic, or checking your phone, or replaying yesterday's embarrassment. And once you obey that impulse, you don't just start the day, you start a chain. Marcus lived by a brutal Stoic principle: you cannot control the storm, but you can control the sailor. The first minutes of the day decide whether you're steering or drifting. Practical exercise right now, tomorrow morning, before you touch anything, before phone, before noise, sit up, feet on the ground, and ask one question: what is the next right action under my control? One action, not a list, not a fantasy. One right action. Because if you can win that moment, you can win the next. And if you can win the first minute, you can reclaim the first hour. But here's the twist. Modern life doesn't just pressure you like Rome did. It pulls you, it pings you, it trains you to react. And that is exactly what we expose next: why morning chaos is not an accident. It's external control. Act 2. The hard truth: morning chaos is external control. Let's be honest, most chaotic mornings aren't bad luck. They're a system. A script you've rehearsed so many times it now runs without permission. It starts the same way: you wake up late, your chest tight, your mind already negotiating. You grab your phone just to check the time, and the screen answers back with 100 tiny commands, messages, feeds, news drama, reminders, streaks, urgency. Before your feet touch the floor, your brain is already in defense mode. You're not living your morning, you're responding to it. Reset with me. Inhale, exhale, say it with me: I do not start my day in reaction. Stoics had a name for what's happening: being ruled by externals. Not a dictator with a uniform, something softer, quieter, and more addictive. Notifications, other people's urgency, cravings for comfort, fear of being behind. And here's the uncomfortable truth: modern life is engineered to make you reactive. Many surveys and recent reporting suggest a huge majority of people check their phone within the first 10 minutes of waking, often around 8 out of 10 or more. And some reports suggest people check their phones dozens to over 100 times a day. Think about that. If the first thing you hold is your phone, the first thing holding you is everyone else. Marcus Aurelius would call that a loss of freedom. He warned himself in Meditations that peace depends on what you allow into your mind, not what happens, what you allow. Because your attention is the gate of your life. Whoever owns the gate owns the city. Here's a shocking comparison. A chaotic morning is like walking into a battlefield and handing your weapon to the enemy. You don't feel unfocused because you are weak. You feel unfocused because you open the day with a flood of inputs your brain was never meant to process at once. Reset again, one breath. Say it with me. My attention is mine. Now let's zoom in on what external control actually looks like, because it's not just the phone, it's also micro chaos. You wake up and immediately you're making tiny decisions: what to wear, what to eat, where are the keys, where's the charger, what time is it, why is everything always last minute? Those are not small, they drain you. Decision fatigue is real. The more decisions you make, the weaker your self-control gets. Some researchers estimate adults make thousands, even tens of thousands of decisions each day, depending on how you define decision. So if your morning is filled with needless choices, you've already spent your best mental currency before the day begins. And then the day takes advantage of it. Your boss says something sharp, so you snap. Traffic slows, so you spiral. Someone texts, "Can you do this now?" and you surrender. Not because you're a bad person, because you started the day already owned. Here's the brutal line, say it with me. If I start my day reacting, I train my mind to be owned. And what you train in the morning becomes your personality by night. Impatient, scattered, anxious, always behind. So what do you do? Not motivation, not shame. Design. Stoics didn't beg for calm. They built systems that survive chaos. Practical exercise for Act 2. Do this tonight in 2 minutes. Remove the trigger, charge your phone out of reach across the room or outside the bedroom. Remove one decision, lay out one thing for tomorrow, clothes bag or breakfast basics. Plant one command, write a sticky note where your hand reaches. First hour belongs to me. That's it. 2 minutes. Because the goal is not a perfect life. The goal is to break the chain at the first link. And here's the curiosity hook in Act 3. I'm going to give you Marcus Aurelius' practical answer. The first hour law, so you don't just avoid chaos. You build a morning that makes chaos irrelevant. Stay with me. The next act is where you stop being controlled and start commanding. Act 3. Marcus Aurelius' first hour law. Marcus Aurelius didn't preach morning routines. He built something sharper: morning sovereignty, the ability to govern yourself before the world tries to govern you. Picture Rome again. Dawn hasn't fully arrived. A runner brings urgent news. Somewhere a general wants permission to move troops. Somewhere a senator wants a favor. Somewhere the crowd demands entertainment. The empire is loud, yet Marcus chooses silence inside his skull. Reset with me. Inhale. Exhale. Say it with me. Before I serve the world, I govern myself. Here's why this matters. Biology is on the line in the first hour. After you wake, your body naturally ramps up cortisol, the wake-up hormone, peaking roughly 30 to 45 minutes after waking. That surge can become fuel, or it can become panic, depending on what you feed your mind first. Give it noise and it becomes stress. Give it command and it becomes clarity. Marcus understood that without modern science. He wrote to himself like a commander issuing orders. You have power over your mind, not outside events. So he built a law for the first hour, simple enough to survive war. Step 1. The 60-second throne. When you wake up, do not reach for the phone. Sit up, feet on the ground. 1 minute. Not to feel peaceful, not to chase a vibe. This minute is an interruption of automatic obedience. Ask one question slowly. What is the next right action under my control? Not 10 actions, not a perfect plan. One right action. Because the first victory is not productivity. The first victory is ownership. Reset, one breath. Say it with me. One right action. Here's a story most people recognize. The phone becomes your first impulse. You tell yourself you're checking, but really you're reporting for duty to someone else's agenda. Marcus would call that slavery with good lighting. 1 minute on the throne breaks that spell. Step 2. The no external window. For the first 20 minutes, no news, no messages, no social feeds. Why? Because interruptions don't just steal time, they fracture identity. Research on notifications and interruptions shows that frequent external pings can harm performance and increase strain, and reducing notification-driven interruptions can improve how productive people feel later. In plain language, the first hour is when your brain is most impressionable, and the world knows it. So you build a gate. Your mind is a city. The first hour is when you decide who enters. Strangers don't get keys. Drama doesn't get a bedroom. Doom scrolling doesn't get the throne. Reset, inhale, exhale. Say it with me. No externals yet. Now here's the stoic twist that surprises people. You don't have to erase the world to control it. Studies on batching notifications suggest that delivering alerts in scheduled batches rather than constant pings can reduce stress and improve well-being in some setups. That's stoicism in modern clothing. Control the doorway, not the existence of the street outside. Step 3, the Stoic triad, body, mind, duty. Marcus trained his mind with writing. You will do the same, but with structure. Body, 5 minutes, movement, stretching, push-ups, a brisk walk. Anything that tells your nervous system, I'm awake and present. You're not training aesthetics. You're training agency. Mind, 5 minutes, write one line, just one. Today, I will not give my power to, it can, fill the blank with something real. Notifications, comparison, someone's mood, the fear of being late, the need to be liked. This is Stoic journaling in one sentence. Marcus wrote, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. That is not motivational. It's mechanical. Better inputs, better day. Duty, 10 minutes, one meaningful task. Not urgent, meaningful. Something that moves your life forward quietly, reading a page, outlining your priorities, studying, practicing a skill, preparing one important message. One brick placed before the world starts throwing stones. Reset, say it with me, body, mind, duty, that's 20 minutes. Not a lifestyle, a declaration of independence. Practical drill. Do this for 7 days tonight. Set one rule on a sticky note. No externals until after the Stoic triad. Put the note where your hand reaches for the phone. And make reaction inconvenient. Charge your phone across the room or outside the bedroom. Don't rely on willpower. Design the battlefield so the enemy has no easy entrance. Epictetus, another Stoic, said, no man is free who is not master of himself. Your first hour is where that mastery is built. If you're doing the 7-day challenge, comment first hour law so you commit publicly. Public commitment raises follow-through. And now the bridge in Act 4, we make this system survive real life kids. Schoolwork, messy mornings, because stoicism isn't for perfect days. It's for the days that try to break you. Act 4, real lessons, how to win, even if life is messy. Now you might say, my life is chaos. I have kids, I have school, I have work. Good. Stoicism was built for that. Marcus Aurelius didn't write from a quiet beach. He wrote from the center of a loud empire where people demanded answers and problems didn't wait for a better time. So let's stop pretending you need a perfect morning. You don't. You need a controlled mind inside an imperfect morning. Reset with me, inhale, exhale. Say it with me, I don't need perfect. I need control. Here are 3 real-world rules Marcus would respect because they survive messy lives. Rule 1, reduce decisions, increase commands. Chaos grows when the morning is full of tiny choices. What to wear? Where are the keys? What to eat? What time is it? Which message is urgent? Every little decision steals a coin of mental energy. And by the time you arrive at your real life, you're already mentally broke. Researchers who study decision fatigue argue that self-control can weaken after many decisions, especially under stress. And some estimates suggest we make thousands of decisions per day, depending on how you define decision. Translation, you can't waste your strongest willpower on socks and chargers. So tonight, remove one decision, choose one. Lay out your clothes, pack your bag, put your keys in the same place. Prepare breakfast basics. This isn't productivity, this is protection. You're building a runway so the day can't trip you before takeoff. Reset one breath. Say it with me, less deciding, more commanding. Rule 2, one anchor. Habit, most people fail because they try to build 5 habits at once. Stoics didn't build castles from 5 blueprints. They built one wall at a time. Pick one anchor habit that cannot be negotiated. Example, I do not touch my phone until I drink water and stand in sunlight. That's it. Not a complicated routine. One anchor. The point is identity. If you can keep one promise to yourself every morning, you start to become someone you can trust. Reset with me. Inhale, exhale, say it with me. One anchor changes the ship. Practical exercise: write your anchor on a sticky note and place it on the phone screen or on the charger. Make the new rule the first thing you see. Rule 3. Calm is a skill, not a mood. Here's where stoicism becomes real. You can plan perfectly and still get hit by life traffic noise delays, a child crying a late bus, a boss texting ASAP. The old you reacts. The stoic you responds. Marcus wrote a famous idea. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your judgment about it. That doesn't mean the event is pleasant. It means you refuse to add a second disaster on top of the first. So when something goes wrong, do the stoic move in 3 beats. Label it external. Reset the body, 1 slow breath, shoulders down, return to command. Next right action, say it with me. External, breath, next right action. Now here's the curiosity punch. The calmest people aren't calm because life is easy. They're calm because they trained calm like a muscle. And training calm is measurable if you reset your nervous system even 5 to 10 seconds at a time. Throughout the morning, you reduce the spiral. Tiny resets keep you from turning a spill into a meltdown. Practical drill for today: choose a calm cue. When chaos hits, touch 2 fingers to your wrist, take 1 breath and say quietly, next right action. You can do it on a bus, in a hallway, at a desk no one even knows. And now the bridge. Act 5 is the turning point story: 2 versions of you. One wakes up as a servant to externals. One wakes up as a sovereign. The question is not which life do you want. The question is simpler and sharper. Which morning are you choosing tomorrow? Stay with me. The next act makes it undeniable. Act 5, the turning point story. Imagine 2 versions of you standing at the same doorway, same bedroom, same alarm, same time on the clock. Version 1 wakes up and says, "Let me see what the world wants from me." The phone lights up like a flare. Notifications stack. Someone's urgency becomes your heartbeat. You scroll just for a second, but that second quietly becomes a steering wheel. Within minutes, your mind is in defense mode, explaining, comparing, worrying, racing. You haven't chosen a single thought yet. Your day is already moving. You call it normal. But it isn't normal. It's trained obedience. Version 2 wakes up and says, "Let me decide who I will be before the world arrives." No dramatic music, no magical motivation. Just one quiet act that changes everything: attention under command. Reset with me. Inhale, exhale, say it with me. I take the morning back. Marcus Aurelius did not win because Rome was calm. Rome was never calm. He woke up to war, politics, betrayal, sickness, real chaos, not the imaginary kind. Yet he kept returning to the same stoic truth, like a soldier polishing a blade. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That line is not decoration, it is a strategy. Here's the shocking part: most people think they need a new life. They don't. They need a new first hour. Because the first hour sets the blueprint for your nervous system, your decisions, your focus, your patience. Start in chaos and you pay interest all day. Start in control and your day becomes a tool, not a trap. And modern life is designed to take that first hour from you. Many surveys suggest a huge majority of people check their phone within the first 10 minutes of waking, often something like 8 out of 10 or more. And average daily phone checks in some reports range from dozens to over 100. That means the first voice in your head is often not yours, it's the internet's. It's someone else's mood, agenda, or drama. Reset again, 1 breath. Say it with me. My mind opens on my terms. Now the Stoic challenge: 7 days. Simple, non-negotiable, no perfection required. Step 1, 60 seconds, the throne. Sit up, feet on the ground, 1 minute. No phone, no bargaining. Ask 1 question. What is the next right action under my control? Not 10 actions. 1. The goal is not productivity, it's sovereignty. Step 2, 20 minutes, no externals, no messages, no news, no social feeds. Why? Because the first inputs become your mental climate. You don't let strangers paint the walls of your mind before you even stand up. Step 3, the Stoic triad. body, mind, duty. Body 5 minutes, stretch, walk, push-ups. Small movement, big signal, I'm awake. Mind 5 minutes, write one line today, I will not give my power to earring. Fill the blank notifications comparison, someone's mood traffic. Duty 10 minutes, one meaningful task, quiet, important, not urgent. And a bonus rule that makes the whole system easier. Make reaction inconvenient. Charge your phone across the room or outside the bedroom. Put friction between you and the old you. Here's a Marcus-style reminder to carry into the day. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So don't start the day renting your thoughts to the highest bidder. Final reset, say it with me slowly. Next right action. That's your anchor when the day tries to drag you. Now the call to action, if you're serious, prove it publicly. Comment this sentence, I took the morning back. I'll be reading them and I'll pin the strongest ones because discipline grows faster when you speak it out loud. If you want control back, don't promise a new life. Promise a new morning. Starting tomorrow, try this for 7 days, 60 seconds. Sit up, ask the next right action, 20 minutes, no externals. Stoic triad, body, mind, duty. Then come back and comment one sentence. I took the morning back. If this helped, like it's so more people escape the morning trap, share it with someone who's always rushing, and subscribe to Making Life Better because next we'll build the Stoic system for night's focus and discipline. Remember, a chaotic morning is not your personality. It's your permission. Stop giving it.